Mm-hmm.
อ่ะเริ่มเลย
Hello. Today we are going to acclimatize a bunch of our tissue culture plants. The reason for this video is that at the moment it is a very hot summer, like super hot, like
เพียงเท่าไหร่
45, 40 plus Celsius, but it actually feels like more than that. It feels like 50 actually, and the plants also seems to feel that way. Like my old method of acclimatizing tissue culture plant doesn't work really well anymore because the plants keep melting away because it was very hot, and when I acclimatize it and put it in my grow tent
พาไปดู
in the back, which is normally suitable for acclimatizing in other season. Actually, the past year the summer wasn't even this hot, so it did okay back then. But take a look at this at the moment. Here you see all those empty spots.
แล้วเราก็
Those
เปลี่ยน
are
มาเปลี่ยนแบบนี้
Those are where the plants melted away because it was so hot that they couldn't survive. And so I did a little change, switching to this container thing. It also it did a better job, but really small plant still melted away. So now we're gonna switch to a smaller container
จะได้มูฟไปที่ไหนก็ได้
because I could move them around, and
ในข้างใต้
it's easier for me to put them where there's no sunlight reach during midday or during a very hot time. Maybe I could move them to get morning sunlight and then just hide them in the shade somewhere. Now let's begin.
เอาจาก
Now these guys, these are from the bottle. We normally took out the bottle from the lab like a day before we can acclimatize. Let them stay in the bottle just like to get used to the temperature outside a bit,
ล้างบุญ
and then we'll take them out into a bowl of some sort that you could clean away
น้ำแร่
the what is it called, the plant food, the gel. We want to get them all off the plant because it promotes bacterial growth. It's full of sugar and other plant food and chemical.
น้ำที่สองต้องใส่น้
And after you rinse that away, you're gonna have a solution of something that would kill bacteria or fungus. I have a bunch of choices. This is
ำไฟซาน
Faisan 20. Use as the recommendation on the side.
มีปัญหากับ
And this is what is it? Providine iodine or iodine,
สำหรับทาแผล
10%. It's
เซฟ
this is quite safe for human touch because it normally used for like rubbing like road rash or something like that. So it's quite safe for human to touch. Well, it is totally safe for human to touch, and it does kill bacteria. It does a good job, and it's one thing is it's quite cheap. Over here it's quite cheap.
อ่ะแล้วอันนี้คือต้องตัดใบทั้งหมดข้างล่าง
And let's take a look at here.
ใบ
Now, the excess root or leaf, we would trim it off. Like if you see super old roots that are browning, we would want to trim it off. We don't want a lot of leaf. Or you see these here, the old leaf, we would you could just pull it off, trim it off, because it will just rot away anyway. We would leave about 2 to 3 leaves, no more than 4 leaves, to grow. And here the roots are a bit too long. We would trim it off also.
โอเค อันนี้มีอะไรบ้าง
Now the planting media is actually the same that I always use. I reuse it. This is peat moss with a mixture of perlite in the ratio of I'm not sure at all actually, but I think it's about it's reused, so it's not like the exact amount. I would put the perlite just, let's say, maybe 10% of the peat moss. And then what you want to do first is you make your media quite soak. See, it's very wet. And then you would also use a either Fison solution or this iodine solution to spray all over the media, just to be cautious, to be more safe, to kill more bacteria on both the media and the plant.
โอเค อันนี้สำหรับไม้ที่มันเป็นกอกออธิบายว่าสามารถตัดออกได้เลย
And this clump of plants over here, we could separate it and pick up the big and strong and healthy one to acclimatize. Normally, if they come in clumps like this, all of them not going to survive. Basically, it's come to the what is the phrase? Survival of the fittest. Yeah, it's going to be like that. So we would pick some off.
ลองดูนะคะตัดเอาตัดเกาหรือบางเอาก็ได้
Oh, my device is heating up.
บอกว่าที่นี่ร้อนมาก
It's so hot that you cannot even turn on your phone camera for 5 minutes without overheating. I don't know when it's gonna shut down now.
ให้ดูก่อน
There. Now we got one of the big
จะ
plant,
ไปอีกนะ
and it's a good size, but we'll trim off the roots.
ให้ดูก่อนว่าเราจะได้ประมาณเท่าไหร่
Let's see. From that clump, how many of them will we have? Like, I would say, like, I saw like a couple of big ones, so now that's 2.
เอาแค่3
And that's 3.
แบบนี้เราไม่เอา
Yeah.
example
This is not what we're gonna use. We're not gonna use this. Full of roots, but
นานกว่าจะโต
normally it will melt away in this heat. If it was some other season, maybe this has some survival chance, but now no. So we can just gonna use these guys.
ก็จะตัดข้างล่างๆออกเยอะไปหน่อยอธิบายไปด้วยก็ได้มีอะไรคอมเมนต์ได้หรือแชทมาที่ WhatsApp เรามีสอนมีขายสมมุติว่าเราประมาณนี้นะอย่างนี้ทริกเหมือนกันข้างล่างบอกว่าไม่ต้องกังวลเรื่องข้างล่าง
Look at this one.
สวย
All beautiful leaf, but we need to trim it off.
มันจะไปอยู่ตรงวัสดุปลูกข้างล่างไม่โอเค
You see, they're going basically below the root, so we will also want them off because they would be touching the media, the planting media, and eventually it'll rot.
perfect ทำให้ดูก่อนประมาณนี้เสร็จแล้วเราก็จะพ่นไม่ต้องพ่นแล้วเพราะว่าเราใส่น้ำยาปิดฝา
And normally, we could spray a bit more of the fungicide or Fison solution, but we already did. And now what's left to do is basically just cover up make sure it's airtight. And what you need to check, maybe about 24 hours or 12 hours, you see if there's any condensation, there's any water droplets. If there's none, you need to add more water. Basically just spray more water into it. Do not like do a complete hose down, just spray some water onto the soil. And then we're done here, and we could just put them somewhere that doesn't have a lot of heat and sunlight. Yep, it could do there. There's not a lot of sunlight. But if you let's say your house, your place doesn't have like a very high, crazy high temperature like mine, you could just leave it in the where the sunlight could reach. Just basically if it's over 35 Celsius, it shouldn't be, because the temperature inside gonna be a couple Celsius hotter. Normally, as I checked, if my thermometer working correctly, it should be about 5 Celsius difference. But in summertime like this, my grow tent, my normal one, it like reach like almost 10 Celsius different. And with the high humidity inside, it does melt the leaf. Basically, just like you boiling your broccoli or something like that. So this hopefully will help, because you know, I can hide it somewhere from the sunlight. I could move it around, and I could provide some light also. Okay, that would be all for acclimatizing tissue culture plant in massive heat of Thailand, that have a higher success rate than a big grow tent that I normally use. If any of you interested in tissue culture plant, want to learn about tissue culture plant, or want to purchase tissue culture plant, you can contact me via my WhatsApp. Sometime I might not be able to reply just because of the time difference, and I don't have my phone with me all the time. Please wait for me. Sometimes I need a couple hours. Okay, that's it. Bye bye.